Hi there, I'm Pooja from ETHR World and welcome to Talent Mindset #Talent in Talks, co-created by ET and LinkedIn Talent Solutions. Those who've been following us are aware that these are super crisp nuggets of learning in the form of a fireside chat. I'm excited to share Talent Mindset has become a cornerstone in the ongoing conversation about talent and workplace evolution in the age of learning and transformation. Viewers, thank you for joining us. And as promised, we will delve deeper into the intersection of technology and human talent in modern workplace and discuss strategies for building resilient, adaptable teams and more. We encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments as we embark on this learning journey together. Without much ado, let me call in my speakers. So, joining us today in this episode are Subhashini Shriram, Managing Director, Human Resource, Carelon Global Solutions. In conversation with her is Anup Sachidharan, Head of Growth, South Accounts, Talent and Learning Solutions. And he is joining us from the co-presenter of this series, LinkedIn Talent Solutions. So buckle up and get ready for another exciting journey into the world of talent development and management. Over to you, Anup.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pooja, for the kind introduction. Really appreciate it. And Subhashini, thank you again for taking the time. Really appreciate it and wonderful to be having this chat with you. All right. So here we go. I think the first and the foremost, I think as we were talking to talent leaders, one of the first thing that comes to mind is, so Subhashini, what does talent mindset actually mean to you? And, how do you kind of go about prioritizing this kind of mindset within your team as you grow at the pace at which you all are growing, right? So how do you kind of manage that?
So I think talent mindset for us is connected to our purpose. I say this because we are an health tech organization. So anything and everything that we could do in terms of looking at the challenges from the health on the humanity space is something that is of great importance to us. And when it comes to health and humanity, obviously talent becomes the core. So it's a little bit easier to connect that way, that you are actually working towards, enhancing the healthcare ecosystem and enhancing the health of humanity. And for that, people do understand that, it is very well connected to the talent space. So first is a recognition of that. And second, of course, is also the ability to connect the talent that we are actually bringing in to this whole health ecosystem and the ecospace. So given these, it's a little easier for us to explain or make our leaders aware that how core talent is for our business and for our lives. So that's really the starting point. And everything and anything that we do revolves around bringing our talent focus and talent strategy to the center of everything that we do. And that would also mean the culture that we set for the organization and walking the talk and walking the walk that our leaders have to do in this space.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Love the culture and value and how people are tied to everything that you all do at the organization. Great, great. One of the other areas that we've always also spoken about with talent leaders is now with GCCs also growing quite a bit in the space. There's always going to be a fight for talent. There's always going to be a talent availability crunch, so on and so forth. So just curious to know, like, how do you all kind of use data and insights to, arrive at some of these solutions or answers, or is that something that you all kind of leverage a lot?
Yeah. No, I think data definitely, and insights are extremely important in today's world. And, it gives us insights about what's happening in the market. It gives us insights about our own organization.
Right.
When your organization grows in size, we don't get the insights very easily. So I think data-driven approach and insights coming from the organization across levels is extremely important. We have invested quite heavily in data insights. I must say that number one, for example, is that within our own organization, and I will come to the market a little later, we have technology solutions and platforms called My Skills, which helps every individual to know for their role what are the skills that they possess and they need to possess, and against those skills, how are they really doing? And that's something that they do a self-evaluation. There is also a tool-based evaluation. There's also managerial evaluation. So that for management gives a clear view of what kind of talent that we have and what are the skills that we possess and where do we lack. And hence all our talent strategy in terms of what L&D interventions we need to do for upskilling people, and what talent we have to be able to go after what kind of markets, what kind of clients, and what future skills that we need to prepare ourselves for, which we lack or which we have. It helps us in all the talent-based strategy. So that's a real big base that we have, right? And it gives a view to everybody, where our talent is and where we are moving towards. The same thing that we do with the market as well. So it gives us a little bit market understanding of, for the same roles that we have, what is the market, talking about in terms of skills. For example, LinkedIn gives that big database for us, right? If you're talking about a role, an architect role, a full stack role or whatever, while we will have a set of skills, but what is the market having and where are they placed in the Indian market? Why just Indian market globally? And that kind of tells us where we are lacking and where we need to go towards, and where we should really be also picking up people from. So that's just one small example of skills and talent. But pretty much data-driven approach and insights goes across in every aspect that we do in the entire talent life cycle, right from the time you look at your own branding position, to acquiring the talent that you acquire, to the development of the talent internally, the exits that happens or the retentions that are there, why they stay, why they leave, to their development. Everything is really drawn from the talent insights, which cuts across the organization, across the talent life cycle.
Now, how do you kind of take the share of voice, given that there are so many organizations, everyone has a unique value proposition? How do you position yourself or take the share of voice across the talent industry? And would love to know, like, what are some of the things that you all work towards to get your voice out there?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question. I think, the ITS industry is in multi-billions now, and it's only going to grow. And GCC has a very big share in that. And given the economic positioning and the political stable positioning of India and the talent that's available, India is definitely the most vibrant market. There is no doubt about that. Given all that, every organization has to challenge as to why would somebody look at us? Why would they join us? And even if they join us for whatever reasons, why would they stay with us? So that sort of goes deep into our employee value proposition, right? And how do we really look at our employee value proposition that truly attracts, retains, grows the talent that we really want? Not everybody wants to do everything. For us, the way we have looked at it, truly, Anup, is that connecting first with our purpose. Our purpose, as I said, is that really making an impact to the human health and the human health ecosystem. That's really the purpose. And that purpose hits quite well with anybody and everybody, because most people do want to contribute in some form or the other. So first and foremost is the employee value prop, deep down, connecting to our purpose. And second, of course, with that purpose comes with, our own motto of, while we serve to the human health community, we serve you first as an individual, which means that every talent that walks into our door would have to be looked at how are they in their holistic well-being and how are we contributing to those holistic well-being. How are we making sure our benefits, our culture, and whatever we are doing, our environment is really providing them that aspect of holistic health awareness and support as much as we can, which translates into we taking care of them and our employees taking care of the larger health ecosystem needs that we are actually trying to build on. So that hits people directly. So I think some of these, through walking the walk, is very important to really connect. But for us, reaching out to the external market, we believe in strong co-creation. The business success is co-created by our employees, what we see today and what we will see tomorrow. So everything that we do and our success is by co-creation. And building this organization has also been co-creation. We have very high employee referral. And every employee is an ambassador of us because they know what we do and they want their friends to be a part of it. And that's the only way in today's market, in the social media connected world, that we can really, where our intent is right and our intent is rightly translated into our behaviors, leadership behaviors, and those behaviors translate into individuals loving this environment and promoting this in every corner. It's never going to be just in with a handful of management sitting out here in a conference room.
Absolutely aligned on that point. Thank you so much for that, Subhashini. Now, I think another key area that we always speak about today, even when it comes in our talent reports or what do people actually care about from a talent perspective, one of the key areas that always comes in is around the opportunity to learn, the opportunity to upskill, right? So I'm just curious to know from an L&D perspective, what are some of the things that you all are doing to enable and empower your people to upskill themselves and get better at what they're doing, given the technology changes that keep happening day in and day out, and the kind of leadership changes that keep happening. So just curious to know what's happening on that front.
No, I think that's a great question. I think upskilling oneself is the constant need, and that's the only way to thrive. And that's a very important aspect of every organization. While, of course, we do a number of, training programs like any other organization will do. The couple of things that I will call out is I talked about My Skills as a platform. The Skills platform not only gives you a perspective of where you are in your current role skill need, it also gives you, if you have a futuristic thinking and you are looking at your career development, then what are the skills that you need to really possess? And the gaps to be filled in are really, accomplished through curated training programs. So that is really where it sort of connects your skill gap and your career growth skill needs to the curated training programs. Now, the curated training programs, that we have, we have, for example, come up with a co-created digital age managerial behavior skills training program, which is completely contributed by 60% of our employees in what the digital age behaviors they expect from their managers to effectively be connected with the leaders in their organization. And for that, we are really leveraging not just human coaches, but AI bot coaches. Now, there are a lot of advantages of these coaches, where known problems, known solutions, we are relieving our managers from the responsibility of constantly educating, their employees, but using AI bots to really do that. Now, the advantage for the bots is that you could actually pick it up at any point in time. I am based out of Bangalore, which means traffic is a big pain point. And if I am getting into my car and I'm reaching office in 20 minutes, in the 20 minutes, I would have learned about a particular skill. Let's say that I'm going to be talking to a very tough employee, and having a very tough conversation. The bot helps me in tough environment and situation to help me to talk to it constantly. And by the time I reach office, I'm well prepared for the conversation. Anywhere between 3 minutes to 20 minutes it takes, right, to coach me. But there are things that a bot can coach, and we are bringing into that. And there are currently about 82 different skills, that we have, these bots coach on. But there is always human intervention required. And that human intervention, we bring in at a much higher level where people do have the opportunity to meet their coaches and mentors, to really work on. And that's really, our current theme under our strategic project called Project Gurukul. So newer technologies embedding that, co-creating the syllabus, constantly looking at the future, and learning from whatever associates are asking and customers are asking from a future need point of view are the three big things that come into our constant, continuous learning process, which, is evolving as we speak.
No, brilliant. I love the co-creation. Again, as I said, I think it's a great aspect, and the emphasis on that cannot be more, right? Thank you so much for this, Subhashini. I mean, such a wonderful conversation, and thank you for again, like, taking the time and these nuggets. Really, really helpful. I've made a note of a lot of these. I'm going to be using them in my personal notes as well as I speak to my team. But thank you so much for this.
Thank you. I think it was a great conversation. Your questions were so insightful. Makes me also think deeply. I think these conversations are always mutually beneficial, and so has it been today as well. Thank you, Anu.
Thank
Great
you.
knowing you and meeting you as well.
No, pleasure's all mine. Thank you. Thank you so much, Subhashini. Thank you.
So, wonderful conversation there. Thank you, Subhashini and Anup. Your discussion wasn't just sublime, it was transformative. Subhashini, your revelation about Carelon's journey have painted a vivid picture of innovation in action. Those bots you spoke about is so futuristic. These insights are just not valuable, they're game changing for our industry. Viewers, these are not just conversations, but they do give us some glimpse of what the future entails in the talent management landscape. Stay in touch with these leaders and do reach out to us if you want to continue a deep dive in this area. And with that, this is a wrap in this episode of Talent Mindset. I promise to get back soon with another episode. Thank you all for joining us today.